And so we went back to the drawing board to try to figure out how to fix this. And what we came up with was the calendar process. So I've kind of teased this for you guys a few times. And some of the reasons that we implemented the calendar process were to be able to focus on the physical health of my team, to be able to focus on the mental health, right? To be able to take breaks, to be able to smooth out tax season so people weren't working 10, 12, 14 hours a day, stuck at a desk. I don't know about you guys, but every year, I mean, we all get older every year, right? And every year, it's harder for me to sit in this chair at this desk for long periods of time without feeling physically uncomfortable. I was in the chair this morning for 2 hours and then I went to get up to go refill my water and I was hobbling down the hallway like a little old lady. It was crazy. So, fixing physical health issues, mental health issues, building in time for breaks, building in time to go take my dog for a walk in the middle of the day. Those are things I wasn't able to do before. Another reason to consider doing it, if you are a person with a team, is staff retention, right? So people don't want to be worked to death. People want work-life balance. And I realize that term is a little trite these days, but it's still what people want. People want to be able to live their lives, to be present for their families. They work because they have bills to pay, not because they just love to work and couldn't think of anything better to do if they were independently wealthy. And it's a tough market out there, right? We all know that it can be a challenge to hire good help, to find good experienced people. And so you need to have ways to differentiate yourself from other employers. We all probably spend some time thinking about how do we differentiate ourselves to our clients? How am I different from another firm, from another firm, from another firm? Well, you need to have that same mindset in your employee locating process, right? You need to, in your like blanking on the word for hiring, but you need to differentiate yourself as an employer. This strategy really paid off for me because last year, when I was looking for a tax professional, a tax preparer to join our team, I actually found someone, I posted about our plans and how we run our tax season. And we ended up with Matthew Cordis, who was a tax firm owner himself for like 15 years. He sold his firm to come work for me as an employee. And a big part of why was because he had young children. He wanted to be able to be present while his kids were young and to be home and to be able to enjoy life with his family even during tax season. And he did not have that as a firm owner with his previous brick and mortar practice. So it's a good differentiator. Additionally, it allows me to level set client expectations. Back to my earlier example of your 50 clients who all upload documents in that last week of February, first week of March, how do you let them know what the turnaround time is going to be? You've got a 50 return backlog, and that's not even counting the people who uploaded before that. So how do you set client expectations? Do you say to them, we're going to work on these first come, first serve, you'll get it when you get it? It's probably not going to be a satisfactory answer to your clients. When you have a calendar process like we implemented, we're able to say to them, you pick June 5th, we won't be starting your return until at least June 6th, right? So you have until June 5th to upload your documents. You can upload them whenever you want, but as far as we're concerned, June 5th is your deadline. We're not even going to look at your documents until June 6th. From June 6th, we'll have your return within 3 weeks, 2 weeks for prep, 1 week for review. We know we're going to be able to meet that, and we've been a little bit off, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but we are comfortable setting that expectation with the client because we know exactly how many returns we're going to have to start each week of the entire year. And we set it up so that we have buffer time, so that we're not having to start 30 returns every week to make sure we have time to get through all the returns for the people that signed up for their dates. So we're able to set client expectations. And then based on that promise, we use TaxDome, as you know, and we have pipelines. Based on that promise, we're able to set dates at the various stages of the pipeline, and we can set client-facing statuses that as the returns are moving through the pipelines, it updates the client-facing status. So at any point, the client can log into TaxDome and see where their return is in the process. So for us, it fixed a bunch of problems. My personal why, my goal, at least for the last couple of years, as I've been changing the type of practice that I'm running and I've been changing who we work with and I'm changing the types of clients that we target and the services that we offer, My personal goal is to build a company that people can work at and make good pay and have a job that they can work around their lives. So instead of building your life around your job, you can build your job around your life. Your life comes first, your family comes first. And so that's my personal why. That's the kind of company that I want to build. And this is part of how I do that for the tax staff because I know I'm not going to be working them to death. So there's a bunch of variations, right? Like you could really build out a calendar process any way that accommodates whatever your processes are. I talked with some other firm owners who have either implemented calendar processes or who have been teasing the idea. I've been following along on social media, a bunch of people talking about it. Some of the variations are the clients pick a date that is their deadline to upload their documents. Another variation is clients pick a date, and that's the date you have to deliver their tax returns to them. Or that's the date that you meet with them to review all of the documents they uploaded to make sure you have everything. Or that's the date that you meet with them to review the draft of the tax returns, right? There's a bunch of different ways that you can do it depending on when you meet with your clients, if you meet with your clients. For us, because again, our number one goal was to solve the document inflow problem. When we receive documents and then when we have to start returns, the right documents come in and then the job moves into the prep phase. We wanted to control that part of the flow. So we went with the first option. The dates that the clients pick on the calendar are the dates they can commit to having their documents uploaded to TaxDome. That puts the onus on the client. We've told them, as long as you get us your documents by your deadline date, we will have your return to you within 3 weeks. The client's only job at that point is to make sure that all of their documents are uploaded and their organizer is completed by that date. Then we know we only have this many returns to start each week, so we're controlling the inflow. We only have this many returns to finish each week, so we're controlling the outflow. And so for us, this is the calendar option that solved our most critical problem. Before I continue on with how we introduce this idea to clients, has anyone here thought about implementing any type of like scheduling system, or are you already doing it? I know some of you still have brick and mortar locations, and so you might already be doing like an appointment system, right? You don't necessarily want clients walking in. Back when I had a brick and mortar, so I think you all know that I started in the tax business with a national tax franchise. That was all walk-in. People show up with their documents, they sit in front of you, you prepare the return while they're sitting there, you review it together, they sign it, you transmit it, they pay, they walk out. That was the whole process. So if you have a brick and mortar and you're doing walk-in business, this may not work for you. If you have a brick and mortar and you're scheduling clients for drop-offs, you're already kind of doing a variation of this, right? If you only have a certain number of appointments for clients to drop off documents, you are in essence controlling the inflow. So you're already doing this, and kudos to you for that. If you're at a point where you have a brick and mortar and people are just walking in, or if you have a hybrid or virtual firm and people are just uploading whenever and then, marking upload complete or in some way letting you know that their documents are there, this is for you. Lisa, you have a brick and mortar, they drop off or upload, and you tell them about a 3-week turnaround, March and April or hell. Yes, that was the biggest problem because, of course, most people, at least for us, and we don't work with super high net worth people, we're kind of in that middle ground. Our people aren't getting tax documents in January. Maybe they're 1090, like a 1099 and a W-2, but most of them are getting documents in February, March, sometimes even April or May if they have like Charles Schwab or Edward Jones. That made March and April really intense. And so this was the problem we were solving. So the first thing that I did was fairly early. I say fairly early. Last year in 2024, I sent a mass update to all clients. I recorded a video on Loom, and then we used MailChimp for mass communications for just anyone who signs up for like a newsletter. We sent a mass email to all current clients, whether they were tax clients or not, and just announced that we were going to be changing our tax season process to this calendar process, and here's why. In that video, I talked through why it benefited them to have a calendar process, for us to have a calendar process. So we sent out a mass email with the explainer video link included. And then we had to do all of this background work. In my mind, I'm like, great, this is going to solve it. We're going to have this calendar. Let's go. Once I really sat down to start planning it out, there is a lot of background work that has to be done, a lot of decisions that have to be made.
Thanks so much for joining us. We really hope this session was helpful for you. If you enjoyed this and want more support on your tax professional journey, consider joining one of our Pronto Tax School memberships. As a member, you get to join weekly live mentor sessions just like this, access tons of advanced tax courses, be part of our private member groups, which is great for networking, grab special discounts for our live events, and even get tax business growth coaching. There's a lot packed in. Check out the links in the description to see the details for our Dream Team and Forever Edition memberships. We'd love to have you join our community.